Ladies and gentlemen, every tick of the clock is a reminder that our time on this earth is limited. We live as though we have forever, but the truth is time waits for no one. Look around. The world is changing. Uncertainty grips nations. People search for meaning, but many look in the wrong places. Some live as if they will never face eternity, but reality says otherwise. No one can stop the sun from setting on their days. Though time is running out, there is still hope for those who are willing to act. The door of grace has not yet closed, and the opportunity to turn things around is still available. Throughout history, we see that those who recognized the urgency of the moment and took decisive action were never disappointed. They found peace, purpose, and a new direction for their lives. Many have spent years wandering, lost in distractions, chasing after things that ultimately left them empty. They sought fulfillment in material wealth, in relationships, in the fleeting pleasures of life, only to realize that nothing truly satisfied the deepest longings of their hearts. But when they finally paused, when they finally turned away from the noise and looked toward the truth, they discovered something greater than they had ever imagined. The beauty of grace is that it does not depend on how much time has been wasted. It does not matter how many wrong turns have been taken or how many mistakes have been made. What matters is the decision to act now, to step forward, to embrace the opportunity that still exists while it is available. No one is beyond redemption. No past is too broken to be restored. The moment a person responds with sincerity, a new chapter begins. There is an urgency in this hope. It is not passive. It calls for movement, for action, for a response. It is not enough to simply hear or acknowledge the truth. One must take a step toward it. That step may be small. It may be uncertain, but it is the most important step a person can take. Delay is dangerous, for time is not in our control. But the one who acts now will find that they are met with open arms, with grace that is deeper than their failures, and with a new beginning that cannot be taken away. Let me know if you'd like further refinements. Every person faces a defining moment in life, the moment of decision. It is the point at which we must choose a direction, knowing that the choice we make will shape our destiny. Some choices are small, affecting only a day or a season, but others carry eternal consequences. And the greatest decision of all is whether we will respond to the truth while we still have time. History is filled with stories of those who hesitated at the crossroads. Some ignored the call to change, believing they had more time. Others were distracted by the cares of this world, postponing what mattered most. They assumed there would always be another opportunity, another chance, another tomorrow. But for many, tomorrow never came. Time slipped through their fingers like sand, and with it the chance to make things right. But there were also those who chose wisely. They saw the urgency of the moment and acted. They understood that to delay was to risk losing everything. They made the decision to step forward, to embrace the truth, to walk in the light while they still could. And for them, that one decision changed everything. It brought peace where there had been turmoil, hope where there had been despair, and direction where there had been confusion. Every person, no matter their background, their past, or their struggles, is given the power of decision. No one is forced, no one is manipulated. Each individual must decide for themselves. It is not a decision to be made lightly, for the weight of eternity rests upon it. But neither is it something to fear, for with the right choice comes a peace that the world cannot give, and a security that time cannot take away. Yet the most dangerous thing a person can do is to remain undecided, to hear the truth and walk away unchanged, to feel the pull of conviction and ignore it, to assume there will always be more time, more opportunities, more second chances. The reality is that every moment of hesitation is a moment closer to losing the opportunity altogether. And once time has run out, there are no more decisions to be made. Each of us has been placed on this earth for a reason. There is a purpose woven into the fabric of our existence, a calling that is unique to us. And yet too often, People live as though they have unlimited time to discover and fulfill that purpose. They assume they can begin tomorrow, next week, or next year. They tell themselves that someday, when the circumstances are right, when they feel ready, when life slows down, they will finally answer the call that has been placed upon them. But the truth is, we do not have the luxury of waiting. The call on our lives is not for some distant future. It is for today. Right now, in this moment, we have a choice to either step into our purpose or let the opportunity pass us by. The work we have been entrusted with cannot be postponed indefinitely, for time moves forward whether we are ready or not. There are people who need our words, our actions, our influence today, not years from now. Throughout history, many have heard the call but hesitated. They doubted their ability, questioned their worthiness, or feared what others might think. They waited for a clearer sign, a more comfortable path, or a time when obedience would be easier. But those who made the greatest impact were the ones who understood the urgency of their calling. They did not wait for ideal conditions. They did not let fear paralyze them. They recognized that when the call comes, the only right response is to answer it without delay. The distractions of this world can be overwhelming. Responsibilities, ambitions, and daily struggles often cloud our vision and make it easy to forget what truly matters. But no excuse, no matter how valid it may seem, can justify neglecting the purpose we were created for. We must ask ourselves, if not now, when? If we continue to put off the work we are meant to do, how much will be lost? How many opportunities will slip away? How many lives will go untouched because we failed to act when we were needed most? The world is in desperate need of those who are willing to step forward and make a difference. There is no shortage of challenges to be met, no lack of people in need, no limit to the ways we can bring hope, healing, and truth into the lives of others. But that impact will only be made by those who understand that the time to act is not someday, it is today. Those who step into their calling now will see doors open before them, strength provided for the journey, and lives transformed because they chose not to wait. We are living in times of great change. The world we once knew is shifting before our eyes, and with each passing day, it becomes more evident that we are moving toward a defining moment in history. The pace of life is accelerating. What seemed stable just yesterday now feels uncertain. Nations rise and fall, economies fluctuate, technology advances at an unprecedented rate, shaping the way we communicate, work, and even think. Morality and values that once served as the foundation of societies are being questioned and in many cases abandoned altogether. Everywhere we look, there are signs of unrest. Natural disasters occur with increasing frequency and intensity. Wars and conflicts rage in different parts of the world. Division and confusion grip the hearts of many, and people are searching for answers in places that cannot provide them. The rapid spread of information, while powerful, has also led to greater deception, making it harder to discern truth from falsehood. People are bombarded with countless voices, each claiming to have the answers, yet true peace and direction seem more elusive than ever. The speed at which things are changing has left many feeling overwhelmed. It is easy to become distracted by the chaos, caught up in the uncertainty, or even paralyzed by fear. Some choose to ignore what is happening, hoping that things will eventually return to how they once were. Others try to adapt by following the shifting trends of the world, believing that blending in will bring security. But neither ignorance nor compromise will stop the tide of change that is sweeping across the earth. If there is one thing history has taught us, it is that change is inevitable. No kingdom, no government, no ideology has remained unchanged forever. The philosophies of men rise and fall, and the cultural norms of one generation are often discarded by the next. The things people build their lives upon, whether wealth, status, or human wisdom, can crumble in an instant. Those who put their trust in the systems of this world will eventually find that they are standing on sinking sand. Yet even in the midst of rapid change, there is a deeper reality at play. The shifting of the world is not random or meaningless. The events unfolding before us are not mere coincidences. There is a pattern, a direction, a purpose behind it all. The signs of the times are speaking, warning those who are willing to listen that something greater is coming. Those who recognize this truth do not live in fear, but with a sense of urgency. They understand that time is moving forward with purpose and that each change we see is pointing towards something far greater than what the human eye can perceive. The changes we are witnessing are not just political, technological, or cultural, they are spiritual. The battle between truth and deception is intensifying. The lines between right and wrong, good and evil are becoming clearer, and people are being forced to make choices that will shape their future. There is no neutral ground anymore. The middle ground is disappearing, and every person must decide where they stand. Those who continue to remain indifferent, thinking they can wait for a more convenient time to act, may soon realize that the world has changed around them, leaving them unprepared for what is to come. There is no greater decision in life than the decision to seek salvation. Yet too many people delay this decision, believing that they have plenty of time. They assume that they can turn to the truth when they are older, when they have accomplished their goals, when life is more settled, or when they feel ready. But the reality is, time is not in our hands. Life is fragile. It is uncertain. No one knows what tomorrow holds, and for many, tomorrow may never come. Throughout history, countless people have stood at the crossroads of decision, feeling the pull in their hearts to make things right, but hesitating, thinking they had more time. Some were young and full of life, convinced that they had years ahead of them to think about eternity. Others were too caught up in the distractions of this world, pursuing wealth, pleasure, and success, believing that matters of the soul could wait, but time did not wait for them. Death came suddenly, unexpectedly, and their opportunity was lost forever. It is a dangerous thing to delay the most important decision of your life. Every moment that passes without salvation is a moment closer to an eternity without hope. People prepare for everything else in life. They prepare for their careers, for their retirement, for emergencies, even for death with wills and funeral arrangements. But many never prepare for what comes after. The irony is that eternity is far more certain than anything in this life, yet it is the very thing people neglect the most. The signs of the times make it clear. We are not guaranteed endless opportunities. The world is changing, and events are unfolding at an alarming rate. The warnings are all around us. Everyday tragedies strike unexpectedly. Disease, accidents, natural disasters, acts of violence, reminding us that life is but a vapor, here one moment and gone the next. No one is immune. No one is exempt. The question is not if our time will come, but when. And when that moment arrives, will we be ready? There is a reason why the call to salvation is urgent. It is because there is no second chance after death. The decisions we make in this life determine our eternity. Some believe they can wait until their final moments to turn toward salvation, but how many people truly know when their final moment will be? Death does not always give a warning. Many have left this world in an instant with no time to pray, no time to repent, no time to make things right. The tragedy is not just in their passing, but in the fact that they had countless opportunities before that moment, opportunities they ignored. Salvation is not something to be taken lightly or postponed. The greatest deception is believing that there will always be more time. There are many voices in the world that will tell you to enjoy life first, to live however you please, to wait until a more convenient season to turn toward the truth. But what if that season never comes? What if the call you feel in your heart today is the last call you will ever receive? The urgency of salvation is not about fear, it is about truth. It is about recognizing the reality of time and eternity. It is about understanding that delaying the most important decision of your life is the greatest risk you can ever take. The opportunity is here now. The door is open, but it will not stay open forever. Life is a fleeting moment, a vapor that appears for a little while and then vanishes. From the moment we are born, the clock begins to tick, counting down the days, hours, and minutes of our existence. Yet so many live as if time is limitless, as if they have an endless supply of tomorrows. They make plans for the future, set goals, chase after dreams, all while ignoring the reality that none of us are promised another day. Look at the world around us. Every day we hear of lives cut short unexpectedly, young and old alike. Some leave this world through illness, others through accidents, and some simply take their last breath without warning. Death does not discriminate based on age, wealth, or status. It comes suddenly, often when least expected. One moment a person is full of life, making plans, laughing, dreaming, and the next they are gone, leaving behind only memories. Despite this undeniable truth, people continue to live as though they are invincible, as though they will have plenty of time to set things right later. But later is never guaranteed. People assume that they will have years ahead to think about their purpose, to mend broken relationships, to seek what truly matters. But how many have left this world with unfinished business, with regrets they can never undo? There are those who spend their lives chasing after wealth, success, and pleasure, believing that these things will bring fulfillment. They invest in their careers, build their empires, accumulate possessions, and seek recognition from others. But what happens when time runs out? What value do riches hold when the breath of life is taken away? What worth is success when it cannot add a single moment to one's lifespan? The most powerful individuals, the wealthiest men and women, the most influential figures in history, all have faced the same reality. No amount of power or money can stop the inevitable. Time moves forward relentlessly with no pause, no rewind, no second chances. Every passing day is a reminder that our time on this earth is temporary. The years slip by faster than we realize. One day we are children, carefree and full of wonder, and before we know it, decades have passed and we are looking back wondering where the time has gone. Many reach the end of their lives with the realization that they spent too much time on things that never truly mattered. They pursued temporary pleasures and ignored the things of eternal significance. Life's uncertainty is one of its greatest mysteries. No one knows what tomorrow holds. The plans we make today may never come to pass. We assume that we will wake up each morning, go about our routine, and see another sunrise, but the truth is that every breath is a gift, and every heartbeat is a reminder of how fragile we truly are. It only takes a single moment for everything to change. A sudden illness, an accident, an unexpected tragedy. Life can be altered in an instant, and there is no guarantee that we will have the opportunity to prepare for what comes next. People often ignore this reality because it is uncomfortable to think about. They push away thoughts of their own mortality, believing that they have more time to figure things out. They distract themselves with entertainment, with work, with the busyness of life, all to avoid facing the one truth that none of us can escape. But whether we choose to acknowledge it or not, the fact remains the same. Life is short and it is uncertain.